So today I'm going to introduce you to PHI Studio, how a studio at the frontier of art and technology from Montreal can establish itself as a pioneer in the immersive and interactive industry by producing and distributing installations all over the world. But first, PHI Studio is not the only entity under the PHI umbrella. Phoebe Greenberg, our founder and chief creative officer, has created two major cultural institutions in Montreal. So first, the PHI Foundation for Contemporary Art is actually celebrating its 15th anniversary this year. The PHI Foundation has welcomed artists in the last 15 years like Ryoji Ikeda, Christian Markley, Chapman Brothers, Yoko Ono, Jenny Holzer, John Curran, and many more, and Sophie Kahl. But this summer, for the 15th anniversary, is actually a major show we are going to open in 2 weeks with a lot of works, actually a retrospective by Yayoi Kusama. So it's going to be a very, very busy summer for us, I can tell you, opening early July and running until January 2023. So that's for the PHI Foundation for Contemporary Art, formerly known as DHC Art. And then we have the PHI Center, that is actually celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. The PHI Center welcomes all forms of art. So we do live music events, we do film screenings, we do a lot of conferences and talks, but we are mainly interested to present exhibitions, experiences that are at the intersection between art and technology. And again, it's an important year for the PHI Center, celebrating its 10th anniversary. We are opening next week. I can't believe I'm here. We are opening next week our summer exhibition with a lot of VR works, but also with a major installation by artist Marco Brambilla, and that's at the PHI Center. There's a next chapter for us. We will be opening a new space in 2026 called PHI Contemporary. It's also located in Old Montreal. I didn't say, but all the other institutions I mentioned are all in Old Montreal. And PHI Contemporary will allow us to welcome under one roof what we do actually in two different entities. We launched a international architectural competition last year, and on July 15th we'll announce the winner of the competition, and then the real work will start with an opening in 2026. So that's the three buildings we have in Montreal. What I'd like to do maybe is just to show you a short video of the type of installation and exhibitions we are presenting at the PHI Center mainly. So those were visuals, as I said, from some of the works that we've been presenting over the years at the PHI Center in Montreal, but also in other locations, in other countries. And I have to say, the pandemic was, of course, very hard for everybody, but we were supposed to do a collaboration with Meet, with Maria Grazia in 2020. We were supposed to have an exhibition here, but we were not able because of the pandemic to do it, but we will succeed in collaborating, I'm sure, Maria Grazia. So just I'll go quick on some of the major installation we did in mainly in other countries. So we were in 2019. We had a VR gallery pop-up in Venice during the Contemporary Art Biennale. We were present for 6 months in Venice. It was an incredible experience. Obviously, I would say I think so, but it was a big success. We showed in the gallery VR works by Marina Abramovic, Anish Kapoor, Olafur Eliasson, and it was really for us to be present in this incredible city, but also during the Contemporary Art Biennale was incredible. As I said earlier, we like to work at the intersection between art and technology, and what we've been doing in Venice for us was really I think the most beautiful experience we had. And again, we were there for 6 months. We were present in 2020, January 2020, at the Sundance Film Festival with a piece called Breathe. Just before the pandemic, I'm mentioning that because we also have residencies, I should say, at PHI in Montreal, working with artists from all over the world. So Breathe, directed by Diego Galafasi, was one of the pieces that we produced during the residency and that we brought to Sundance to be presented in the competition there. We have a 5-year-long partnership with Luxembourg City Film Festival, where we are presenting, not only presenting works, but also curating, installing, a beautiful collaboration with this festival in Luxembourg. Just now in March 2022, we were at South by Southwest. We had 2 pieces there, one called Composition by Quebec artist Vincent Morissette, and it was actually a crowd pleaser, I have to say, and this composition was also developed in a residency at the PHI Center in Montreal, but we were also nominated for the South by Southwest International Award with the Infinite, which I will tell you more about in just a second. Carne y Arena. I'm sure most of you know this piece because it actually was presented in Milan a few years ago. So Carne y Arena is a virtual reality experience directed by Mexican filmmaker Alejandro Inarritu. I had the privilege, and I really say the privilege, to discover that experience at the Cannes Film Festival a few years ago, and actually I became obsessed. To me, my goal was really after that to bring Carne y Arena in some form or fashion to Montreal. It took us a few years, but we succeed. And not only did we show Carne y Arena in Montreal at the PHI Center, not at the PHI Center, in another location for 6 months, but we actually did a joint venture with Alejandro Inarritu, where we optimized the piece for touring, and it is actually right now open in the States in what's the name? Oklahoma, and it's actually opening in Spain on July 1st in Compostela. And the goal is really to tour Carne y Arena for the next few years. It's a very important, compelling experience. I encourage you to see it if you haven't seen it. The Infinite, maybe I'll spend just a little bit more time on that piece. The Infinite, oops, I'll tell you more after that. Infinite is a 60-minute journey through space. Our partners at Felix and Paul Studio, with whom we produced that piece, they have a virtual reality camera on the International Space Station. So we decided to partner with them in producing a large-scale experience that is actually touring right now. The Infinite open world premiere in Montreal in the summer of 2021, and we hosted in 3.5 months 70,000 visitors, which is, for that type of experience that involves virtual reality, I would say quite impressive, and I say that in a very humble way. It means that we can host over 150 people an hour, over 1,000 people a day. Again, the Infinite is combining art and technology. It's not only taking people in virtual reality on the space station, but it's also we commissioned a piece by Ryoji Ikeda that is part of the experience. So it's really a beautiful journey that is mixing VR but also contemporary art. It is right now after Montreal, we went to Houston for 4 months. It is right now in Seattle for the summer. It's going to be in San Francisco in the fall, and then it's going to be in Chicago next year. The goal, obviously, is also to find partners, collaborators, spaces to bring the Infinite to Europe, and hopefully that will be possible. So those are visuals from the Infinite, mainly from Ryoji Ikeda's piece. So what's next for us? As I said earlier, we will be opening a new space in 2026. We are about collaborations, we are about partnerships, and I'm thrilled to be here today because I feel that after those 2 days, maybe, who knows, some collaborations will be possible. We are producing right now new works, large-scale installation, and the goal is really to all have them start in Montreal, but after that, to tour them. Grazie.
Thank you, Myriam.